It's one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive. Welcome to Pod Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, coming at you live from the Empire of Caviar Studios, located in beautiful Los Angeles, California. How are you doing today? I know I said Wednesday, right? But this week has just been hell, man. I ended up, Graham and I, we did an episode of the One Gram Army podcast. It was a banger. We got that taken care of. We've been trying to record since Wednesday, man. It's just, life has been insane. And this week is weird. It started off with a holiday, Memorial Day. Shout out to all the service members who lost their life while serving their country. That's the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. A lot of people don't know it. And wow. A lot of people don't know it. Memorial Day is for the people who've served and lost their life. And Veterans Day is for the vets that are still kicking, like myself and Graham and many other people. Many of the old, honorary vets. I can't wait till I'm the boomer, till I become the boomer. I think the next, I honestly, I don't think there's going to be another era of this country like the boomers. Like, they really fucked this country up. Like, it's not even, like, it's real bad, bruh. They just won't get out of the way. Y'all got to move. Y'all got to get out of the way. The way that you think isn't how it is in reality right now. Everybody's trying to love everyone. Okay? Stop trying to fit us into your 1942 box. It's not going to happen. It's not. We'll just wait around. It's weird. But yeah, it started off with a holiday. And then everything after that seemed off. Like, the energy is just low. I'm just tired. It's not a wave of depression, though. So, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. Shit, I don't know. Like I said, I'm in this lane of in my late 30s. I got a podcast. I'm a vet. You know, I've been through a lot of shit. So, some days I get up and I'm like, I'm just tired. Whatever. Somebody got assaulted with a pressure washer. I need to have a segment where I have the Citizen app. And if you don't know what the Citizen app is, it's basically like virtual neighborhood watch. So if you're walking down the street and somebody runs into a hydrant, you can take your phone out and then go to Citizen and you report that. Everybody in the area will get a notification. Some of these notifications are insane. I'm going to get to, today we're going to continue down our path of self-motivation and self-care, self-help, self-love, everything. I'm going to talk about a situation where I quit on myself and I gave up hope on something and then I ended up achieving it and then I felt like an idiot. But I learned a lesson. But anyway, let's dive into Citizen right now. I don't know. This could be a new segment. Report a woman with knife. Report of assault with pressure washer. Vehicle collision with injury. Okay, that's not funny. Show more incidents. A vehicle assault. Man assaulted at skate park. Vehicle collision. There's some in here where you like a lot of these are like fairly serious, but sometimes it's funny. Like the person assaulted with a pressure washer. There was somebody that got their ass beat with a printer. Um, it's just weird things that happen, and a lot of these are just transients. Sometimes transients will be screaming at cars, or occasionally they'll actually like throw shit at them. But I'll do a better job of taking the notifications and just saving them, like just screenshotting them, so that maybe next episode I'll have a whole list of ones that we could go through. We could call it the citizen segment. I'm with it. Are you with it? I've gotten a lot of great feedback for this season, the second season of season 7 of Pod Caviar. You know what I'm talking about. All right. I've got a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people are happy that I'm doing this. Basically, somebody had to do it, right? And one of the reasons why I had started Pod Caviar is that I had a lot of shit to talk about, and I felt like, man, a lot of times, and I don't know whether it's just me, maybe I'm just being too socially awkward or abnormally paranoid, but I feel like if I go to somebody that's not a therapist and I start talking about my issues, a lot of times the person that I'm talking to will start talking about their issues. They were going through the same shit, especially when it's a guy, because guys, we don't really have that outlet, and that's why I'm like, bruh, it's okay to go to therapy. 3 sessions. I'm the 3 sessions guy. You get 3 sessions of therapy. Really? And I'll probably end up starting some sort of nonprofit or something that like gives guys 3 legit therapy sessions in a building that's like the bro zone, where you go in there and it's just, a bunch of bros, you hanging out, a common area, but then you have doctors that go in there and you can choose whether you want a man or a woman. Me personally, I like talking to women about my issues because it's a different insight. Women have a way of looking at issues and like life in general that men just don't understand. Like we don't see it like that. We're really just, 2 slices of bread and shit in the middle is a sandwich. But then a woman will be like, well, what type of sandwich? And what are you going to add to that sandwich? Are you going to toast the bun? Or are you going to, guys are just like, it's a fucking sandwich. If I'm hungry, I'm eating a sandwich. What do you want from me? But yeah, it's an idea. And I had a similar idea for women who were caught in abusive relationships where, and that was more tactical, where I would like have a team. We would have a team and we would send them in there and extract the woman and all this other shit. But I feel like that's very strange. It sounds good. And that could be made into like a legit show. Like if I can not figure out, but if I could sit down and like put together some sort of script or something for it, we can actually have that happen. The reason why it's hard in real life is because you basically got a team of vigilantes that go around and extracting abused women from relationships. And you can't be a vigilante. You're not supposed to be a vigilante. And it's just, it's a lot of liability that goes into that. What if she goes back? What if she goes back? And we can also have teams of women that go and extract men from abusive relationships, because men get stuck in abusive relationships too. I feel like it happens more to women. That's why we get that's why women get most of the attention, but it also needs to be both ways. Either way you look at it, it's not a good look and it's a bad situation, and these people need help a lot of times, because you can't just up and leave an abusive person, especially when they control your entire life or major portions of it. You feel me? So yeah, I'm glad that I started doing this. I've gotten great feedback. I'm happy with the product. The episodes are hitting. They're amazing. They're very insightful. I'm able to be as transparent as possible. And it's just going to keep getting better. I don't know what we're going to do for season 8, but we're just riding this wave right now, and we're seeing how it goes. I thought I was going to have to take a week off because of storage, but we're good, man. We're good to keep going, and we're going to keep rolling. Today, I want to talk about a situation that seemed very insignificant, but afterwards, I was like, there's a lesson that needs to be learned here, and I feel like I need to speak on it. Years ago, I came across this band, because I love music. I love listening to all genres, everything. I've even tried listening to country music. There's a handful of country songs that I like, and that's cool, man. I spent hella time in the South, and I listened to so many guys. Like, it's just country music. You dealing with guys. I was in the that was when I was in the Air Force, so I was in the South, and I joined the National Guard. So I was in a guard unit. A guard unit is basically made up of guys that are like mostly from that area. It's like very local, and those guys love country music. They also love classic rock. I fucks with classic rock. Like, I could get down with classic rock. Me being open-minded, I tried to get in the country, but whatever. But the band that I'm talking about is not a country band. They're actually called Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's called post-rock. It's a lot of slow build-up, repetition, and then like a crescendo into a lot of sounds, orchestra sounds, guitars. You got sound bites. You have all sorts of things. It's just beautiful music. If you ever get a chance to listen to them, go check them out, man. Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's a band from Canada. And when I heard them, and I immediately became a fan. And I was like, one day, man, I would love to see them in person. I would love to see them in person. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'll never be able to see them in person, man. This shit is wild. Like, I'm stupid. Like, why would I even think that I was gonna be able to do that? Like, I'm dumb, bro. They don't come to Georgia. They're not going on tour. At the time, they was like, I guess they were in, I don't know where they were in Hyatt. I don't want to call it a Hyatt. I don't know what was going on, but it was just, I forced myself to give up on my hopes and dreams. And not only that, I forced myself to be okay with it. Like, I was okay with giving up and walking away. And looking back at it now, it's a bad look to do that to yourself. Because years later, earlier this year, I actually ended up going to one of their concerts in LA, downtown LA. Saw them right there on the stage. And it wasn't like a big venue. And I was like right there, right? So, and here's the other thing. The other band that I like that's similar, that has the same vibe as Godspeed You Black Emperor, was This Will Destroy You. I actually got to see them in Atlanta. And then, even then, I was like, well, I know I won't be able to see Godspeed You Black Emperor, but this band is dope. And I was, I happy. And I was like, man, I'm just happy to, it's like I settled. I didn't settle for This Will Destroy You. They're a great band. That show was amazing. They make great music. I settled with the fact that I was okay with giving up on my dream just to achieve the dream years later. And so now, with me knowing all of that, what's the lesson that's learned here? What's the message that I can provide to everyone? Is that don't give up on your dreams, bruh. And I should have known that. I'm talking about the guy that's been talking about moving to LA since I learned what LA was as a kid, and now I'm here, but yet I can't go to this band's concert, and I gave up on that. Like, come on, man. And come on to yourself. Say, come on to yourself. What have you convinced yourself to give up on and then became okay with giving up on something that you wanted more than anything at one point in time in your life? And how would your life have changed if you haven't? Because, listen, if I never had seen Godspeed You Black Emperor in person, I wouldn't be making this podcast right now, right? And then if I hadn't made this podcast, you wouldn't hear this podcast. And there's somebody that's going to hear this podcast and be like, you know what? He's got a point. And you're going to go make changes in your life, and you're going to go achieve some goals that you recently, or not recently, but previously gave up on. Right? The butterfly effect is real, bro. It is real. Why did I give up on that? Why did I convince myself that I was never going to be able to see what I saw? It's because we're okay with settling. We get to a point to where it's okay to just not get what we want, but we need to understand that you don't fail if you don't complete the objective. You fail when you quit. Okay? When you stop, when you give up, when you turn around and walk away, that's when you fail. What the hell is going on out there? Oh shit, maybe that's the TV. I thought there was some shit going on. I just had the TV up. I thought something was going on outside. I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, man, like why? Who are you to settle for less? Do you not love yourself enough to really vigorously go after what you want to go after until you achieve it? Huh? Like, do you love yourself enough to never give up on yourself, right? Isn't that the theme of this whole second part of this season? Like, hey man, look, I did that. And again, I'm here telling you to not do that because of how I felt afterwards in the lesson that I learned. Not only, like, I was happy. Don't get me wrong. I was happy. I was shocked. I was surprised. It was a surreal moment. But at the same time, I was like, man, I really got to love myself more to never be in this position again. So what's next? What's the next band? Pink Floyd? Anything is possible. And I don't even want to plant that seed of, I don't know, it's going to be difficult. Who cares? It's obtainable. Damn, that dude's hauling ass. It's obtainable. Oh, but you just have to keep going until you obtain it, bruh. I'm not lying to you. This story that I'm telling you is real. It's real. It's real. I'll show you my ticket stub. I got receipts. Isn't that what everybody be asking for? Oh, you saying that, but where the receipts at? Right here? What now? Well, what are you going to do in your life? What have you given up on that you shouldn't have? That you convince yourself that, oh, this is, it's okay. No, it's not. People that love themselves will never give up on themselves. And you have to be your biggest cheerleader, bruh. I'm telling you right now, I've never loved myself more than I love myself now. It is because I've been through all this stuff. So you have to peel back all these layers. One of the things that I learned from my job is if you have a big problem, if you come across some sort of large discrepancy that requires a deeper investigation, there's plenty of ways to do it. One of the ways that I like to do it, that I've incorporated into my life, is called the 5 whys. You basically ask yourself why 5 times. And in doing that, you uncover a lot of things. Why does this make me mad? Okay, so why? You just keep acting why? Why did I give up? Why? And what are you going to do? You're going to come through, you're going to start peeling back those layers, and then you're going to figure out why. Why did I give up on myself like that? Because that's what I've done historically through life, right? And I always tell people this, like, I take a lot of shit because nobody is harder on me than myself. I'm a Capricorn, bro. Like, there's things that, I've called myself the worst names ever imagined because I just get sick and tired. It's times where I just be so disappointed in myself, bro. It's one thing to be disappointed at other people, but then disappointed at yourself? Oof. To me, that's really getting deep into under the trenches. You're under the trenches there. It's like you in the trenches, normal day-to-day world. But then when you start looking into yourself and then figuring out why you are the way you are, and you'll figure out a lot of it is because of your upbringing, things that happened in your childhood, things that other people did to you because they hate themselves and it's not necessarily your fault. And then you start, once you come to terms with that, then you're like, well, shit, how did that affect me and how did I become who I am because of that? Because if that shouldn't have happened, that can be eliminated, and then we can start the path of fixing the damage that caused so that we can, become a better person, so that we could be a better example for if you got kids, if you got nephews, nieces, nephews, if you got people that look up to you in any way. Let them see you do the dirty work. Let them see you dig under those trenches, because they look at you, they look up to you, so they can look at you and be like, hey, look, this guy is going through all of this and he's got a lot of good insight into life in general. And it's just, you'll start to uncover a lot of trauma and stuff. And if you go to therapy, that's a better, that even amplifies that and really just supports it and makes it better, because now you have a professional that's there, that's almost like a professional coach slash friend slash confidant that's like, hey man, look, here's my insight into this, try it out, we'll come back for another session and we'll keep going and we'll keep working on it. So ask yourself the 5 whys. If you take anything from this episode, don't give up on yourself. And I've been saying that, right? Here's an example of how I gave up on myself for nothing, and then I ended up looking stupid because I achieved the goal that I literally walked away from. And it was just, all I had to do was be in a local area and hop in a lift and get dropped off. And then that was it. That was it. Even if I didn't live here, I could still make it. I still could have saw the show, because I would have got on a plane and just flown across the country, rented a room, hopped in the lift. Probably would have got a room that's closer to so if I can got a room that's close to the venue, so I didn't even need a lift. I could have just walked. You feel me? Or took the metro. It's just different ways of doing that. But knowing that this band meant so much for me, and how music really helps me heal and really helps me meditate and stay somewhat sane, and that this band is such a big part of that, and that I was just like, well, I guess I'll never see him in person. You just got music. Just to turn around and see him in person, just to hear the songs that I've played on repeat for years in person, and hear the subs and the sound waves like literally crashing against me as I'm standing there in awe, listening and looking at this band that I love so much and that I wanted to see in person, that I'm finally seeing in person. Don't ever give up on yourself or your dreams. If you want to see that band, do that. If you want to start that business, do that. If you want to, take that solo trip to Sealand, do that. If you want to travel the world. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? Don't convince yourself that you're not worthy enough to do the things that you want to do. You are worthy. You understand? You always were, and you always will be. And if nobody else is going to tell you, this guy talking to you on the podcast will, and I mean it. I don't even need to know you to tell you that you're worth it. We all are. Never bet against yourself. Never give up on yourself. Do the things that you want to do. You have one life. One life. I'm starting to understand the live every day like it's your last mantra now more than ever, because that's pretty much what you have to do. You have to. Why would you want to leave anything on the table? Why would you? Damn, I'm hitting the mic. My bad. Shh, it's okay, Mike. It's okay, Mike. It's okay, microphone. Why would you? We're at 24 minutes right now. I think I got the point across. I'm not about to end the podcast because we got promos and shit to do. And but yeah, man. Do those things. Do those things that you walked away from because you are worthy enough to do all of them. And I mean it. And if you think I'm lying, prove me wrong. What a predicament to be in, right? Either achieve the things that you want to achieve and live your life the way you want to, or fucking prove me wrong and not do anything. The choice is yours. Big shout out to the 1 Gram Army podcast, the sponsor of this podcast and the sponsor of my amazing Twitch streams. You can get that podcast wherever you get podcasts from. And Graham did it smart. He's 1 Gram Army on damn near all his social medias. So if you find him on one, you find him on them all. Subscribe. And like I say, you got 2 podcasts. You got 2 ears, so we have 2 podcasts. The other being this that you're listening to right now, Podcaviar, the most widely available podcast in the world. I just added like a handful of other what are they called? I've just added a handful of other services that will host Podcaviar, and I think they're mainly out of the continent of Africa. So if you're in Africa and you hear Podcaviar, hey, welcome to the Empire of Caviar. Please subscribe, and everybody else subscribe as well. You can subscribe. You should subscribe. You can get this wherever you get podcasts from as well. It is the most widely available podcast in the world, especially now. You're running out of places to get, like, Podcaviar is starting to become so readily available that Podcaviar is going to start subscribing to people. That's just how much, that's how big it's grown and how widely available it is. When I say it's the most widely available podcast in the world, I really mean that, because I took the time to make sure that it is being pushed around the world in many different services. I'm not just hitting the main ones. This ain't no Spotify, Apple Music. No, it's on everything. Graham is doing the same thing. So subscribe. You can also subscribe to me on Twitch TV/NotHavingIt. I do stream every Friday. Sometimes I have my voice, sometimes I don't. It's mostly Warzone. This past Friday, however, we did Ace Combat because they just added the new Top Gun planes to the game. Ooh. I'm actually watching a guy play Warzone right now on YouTube in the background. I might stream later on today on YouTube. I wanted to go exclusively to Twitch. The Friday streams are exclusively on Twitch. Any other stream can be on any service. I don't necessarily want to just focus on Twitch. Twitch doesn't really do shit to help the streamers. Twitch is just like, we're here. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. At least YouTube gives you some sort of carrot on the string here and there. But you can subscribe. And, of course, if you find me on Twitter at LA Baltimore, I'll put that in the description because it's kind of hard to follow when I say it. It should be LA Baltimore, but somebody randomly had that at, so I can't use it. So I had to change it. I'll put it in the description. You can go subscribe. And hey, this has been a great episode. I'm going to wrap things up. And we're coming up on 30 minutes. Subscribe. And most importantly, go to shirtcaviar.com and immerse yourself into the art. Now we have whole outfits. So if you go to shirtcaviar.com, remember how I used to tell you just scroll down to the bottom of the screen, and if you see something you want to shirt yourself, use code OGA for 10% off your order. You can still do that, but now you can also go to shirtcaviar.com, click on outfits, and you can get shirts, leggings, hoodie, shoes, everything. You can wear Shirt Caviar from head to toe. All you got to do is go there. And as always, you can use code OGA for 10% off your order at shirtcaviar.com. What an amazing season. What an amazing episode. We got another one coming up this week. But you're not going to know if you don't subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can know when I go live or when I upload another episode. Thanks for listening. I will see you next episode. I'm your host, Tony. Peace.